What's up, guys? Welcome to week number 3 of this training cycle. This is the week after traveling down to California for Boss of Bosses, which was a great meet. Z ended up finishing with a 391 squat, 171 bench, and a 355 deadlift. I think that puts her total at 914, which was enough for the win in her bodyweight category, which is easy because there wasn't another 165 female there. But it also pushed her Wilks over 400 and put her in second place for the overall. So definitely a great meet. She had a great showing, really proud of her. And we had a great time the following day at the pro day, where we got to see everything from Yuri Belkin's 920 deadlift attempt to T. Cummins' fall to just everything. It was a great trip. It was the first time I've ever gone to a meet of that caliber and gotten to watch that many high-level lifters compete against each other. So definitely a great trip. However, a lot of days in the car and on planes wreaked havoc on my hips, and as you can see, squatting on this Monday session, or I think it was Tuesday or something like that, squatting on this day ended up just being a steaming pile of shit. So at least bench was going well, but I've still been having the same nagging issues in through the glute, and the instability has just been driving me nuts and has been very frustrating. Fortunately, I was able to figure out a couple new things that Tony showed me, and we did a lot of work and through both of my hips. Very painful work with our version of the boomstick, a couple of different ART techniques and things that just generally make you want to scream and cry like a good little girl, which combined with the fact that there's a big black guy named Tony doing all the work to you with a metal pipe in your ass, leads for a couple of stories you don't really want to share with all your friends. So either way, the work was very successful. As you can see on these box squats, these were done the day after Tony worked on my glutes. I'm able to actually sit down and got some speed back, and for the most part, aside from the dipping left shoulder, if you're looking at it, these moved really well and felt better than my squats have in a while. So I'm going to continue on with those protocols. I'm going to try and do them the day before each of my training sessions. That way the hips are already loosened up and balanced, and I should hopefully be able to continue squatting as nicely as this day felt. So we'll have to see on that. I've actually got my eyes on a meet or two possible meets in December. It'll be the first week of December before the deadlifts for Dornbecker, which I'll have some more information on that probably next week. So what I'm most likely going to do is just take a transitional week next week, or the week after this video, which I already did, but the week after the training that you're seeing here, and then start lining up for that meet. What I'll be doing is transitioning back into wraps. I'm going to run the off-season base version of the program one more time in wraps, just to kind of get my groove, and hopefully the extra support from the knee wraps will also take a little bit of pressure off the hips at the bottom of the squat there. So that should allow me to continue to rehab and rebuild the dysfunction that's been going on, while also letting me actually just get some heavier training in by the end of the year. So you'll see a couple of changes with that, but that should be starting up. I'll get that video posted up probably next week. So I'll try and actually stay on time with those since the world has calmed down a little bit for us here. So what you're seeing here is pause squats. I ended up working up to 315 or 325 on this bar for a 3x3. As you can see, the hips are still doing really well, staying pretty balanced in the bottom there. The biggest issue that's still remaining is just the imbalance between the two shoulders, and that I can trace back to my pec tear earlier this year. So something with how the bar sits on my back, I'm starting to have trouble lining up in the middle of it. So as long as I've got training partners lining me up on the bar, that is pretty minimal, but you can still see there is a tendency for that one shoulder to dip just a little bit. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. At least for now, I know how to treat the hips to keep them happy, and should hopefully have a couple of productive squat sessions here in my future, which would be very nice, since this has been a very mentally trying year as far as my training. So worked these 3 sets, did end up taking a PR on the pin presses with 315 for 6, which is pretty solid for me. I haven't done that before. And then deads went okay. I hit a set of 4, a double, and I think a triple with 455 plus the 80 pounds of chain. So deadlift still needs a little bit of work. I think with that, my volume has been too high with my deadlifting. So what I will most likely do is make a couple of adjustments to keep on the lower end of the pull-up and table, as well as working some variations. That way I'm not necessarily pulling from the floor for 20 to 25 reps twice a week. I think it's just a bit too much. So let's see. I'll put together a plan here, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more in the next video, which should be the first week of training on the plan I'm going to talk about. So that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do me a favor and like it and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, be sure to check out the gym's website at www.savategym.com.